Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentations this afternoon. I apologize for that momentary technical difficulty. I guess our industry sometimes has those, and I think this one was on me. So I appreciate, again, your attendance, and today we're going to run through a new product that we released at CEDIA called the Mini 4. And if we could jump to that next slide, we'll jump right into it. All right. Many of you are probably installing a product developed by Sonos right now. This Mini 4 is actually designed to compete against Sonos on a daily basis. We'll run through this value proposition real quickly. Key point here is this product is not available to be purchased retail or online. This is a big competitive advantage to yourself when you're out meeting with the homeowners, is they're not going to be able to price shop you online, and it's going to allow you to make some margin. You can buy this package with speakers or without. The cost per zone without speakers is $188.50. Comparable cost per zone with Sonos is $400. Cost per zone with speakers, and we provide a 6.5-inch in-ceiling contractor's grade speaker, is $212.50. Cost per zone with Sonos and speakers simply depends on the speakers that you would choose to install with that. The margin on this product is 50 points either way. That's a minimum margin based on the MSRP of either $14.99 without speakers included or $16.99 with speakers included. I have been speaking with several dealers who have been installing the product on a regular basis over the past 45 days, and they're selling these systems between $200 and $2,500 before any builder margin is added. It's very easy to install. There is no programming time that is required, although from your mobile device on site, you can customize the system by naming the zones, naming the source inputs. It takes mere seconds. The app is free, Droid or Apple-based. There's no licensing fees. You can download it as many times on as many devices on a system as you would like. It auto-scales to every device. The system is expandable to 32 zones. It comes as a 4-zone system to begin with. We have some additional streaming sources that will be coming soon, should be right around the beginning of the year, that we'll be adding in Spotify and the new Apple streaming services. And we have a best-in-class support. So if your technician's out on the job site, they're having any challenges, all they need to do is call in, and we'll put a technician on the phone with them that can walk them right through this. Next slide. All right. So what comes in the box? You get the AX Mini 4 controller. It's 4-zone. You can hook up 2 keypads directly to this controller if you choose to utilize a keypad, not necessary for the operations of the system. As I said, it is app-based, and you can just use your mobile device as your operation keypad. It has a 15 watts per zone, or I'm sorry, per channel. These are real watts. I don't want to say anything negative about the competitive products that are out there, but I'll just say they're not rush sound watts. These are real watts. I think that you'll find that it'll give you enough power to make it uncomfortable to be in that zone. It comes with a remote Balun. It's an audio Balun only. The Balun is IR controllable. You can remote that Balun up to 300 feet away from the system via a Cat5 cable. Comes with power supply and 1 dual IR emitter. On the Mini 4, you have 2 source inputs, one being that Balun. You can connect another input directly to the Mini 4 via RCA cables. That source is also controllable via IR. You have 1 set of outputs. you to tie this into a AVR controller, for instance, as a second source where you could share the zones. You could share the streaming services to the zones of the AVR. Next slide. This is an example of the interface that you'll see on a iOS or Android device. In the typical screen, you'll pull up. This is going to be what your GUI is going to look like. You're going to, starting at the top left there, you'll be able to touch that drop down that currently says kitchen. It's going to give you a list of the zones that you see on the right hand drop down there. You have an EQ button. You can EQ by zone. So if you have some unique zones, maybe high ceilings, hard floors, outside on the patio, whatever that unique environment is, you can EQ it by zone. You can also control loudness by zone. You can determine whether or not you have, if you want mono or stereo by zone. You can also control the power-up volume and the master volume by zone. There on the right-hand side, top right button, you can look at your sources and choose what remote sources you might want to play. Moving down the screen there, you have source 1 and 2 indicated as PC or aux. Those are programmable. Whatever you plug into those sources are what they are, and you can easily name those sources, as I mentioned earlier, right from your Droid. Your media streams, media 1 and 2, coming in the kit is a Pandora and TuneIn Radio. As mentioned, we're going to have some additional streaming sources available at the beginning of the year. These have already been agreed to. We're just waiting for some contract information back from those companies. The next button right down there under the GUI is the zone or source button. By pressing that, you're going to get a list of all your zones. You're going to be able to see what source is playing in that zone. Turn that zone on or off, raise the volume up and down, and change the source. You have a master volume, mute, and power button on the bottom left. Next slide. Okay, this is showing you what you will expect when you press that EQ button. You're going to get that GUI graphic user interface right there. As mentioned before, it's going to allow you to control the bass, treble, max volume, power up volume, your loudness, mono, and balance left to right. You'll also be able to jump to that next screen right there, which is the unit properties. This is going to allow you to change the name of the zone, any networking information, source names, view your device information, etc. Next slide. On that unit properties page, you'll see that it's really quite intuitive and user-friendly. I don't think I would necessarily show this to the end user. This is something that I would keep at an installer level. You know how it is. The less interactive that you make certain things with an end user, the better. You'll see that your choices run across the top here, your device tab. You're going to have your zone settings. This will allow you to change the name of the zone, reassign a zone location, assign a keypad to a zone specifically. Maybe you have one of your kids' rooms. You want them to be able to play their music from their iTunes account or something only in their zone, and you might assign a keypad that only functions in that zone, not allowing them control or use anywhere else in the house. Source button, again, will allow you to name sources and to set the independent source gain, assign remote, and media sources. You have your media tab, allows you to add media servers. Additional media is going to be coming as mentioned, but you also may want to hook up a NAS drive or some sort of MP3 player or streaming service, maybe an Apple AirPlay device as an example. On the other side there, you'll have the no, I just lost, okay. Sorry, I just had lost my view there. On the other side, you'll have the log. It's going to give you a diagnostics and event log of anything that's happened on the system as it's been powered up. And the IR routing tab allows you to assign IR routing for those two remote sources. Next page. All right, playing media or music. You're going to, upon entering the app, and you're gonna see these screens that are going to come up as you navigate through the app. You're going to first tap the media button as depicted there on the left. The GUI that's going to come up is indicated there in the second picture. You're going to be able to choose through what you want to play. If you're going to play TuneIn, you would highlight that, hit play. It's going to jump over. It's going to give you a selection of the music that's available on TuneIn. You're going to pick what you want, and then you're going to get metadata that's going to show up there and tell you what is playing. Next slide. This is your zone control page. By pressing the audio button there on your main page when you open up the app, you're going to be moved to a secondary page, your zone control page, and you're gonna see this. You're gonna have your zone location, location 1. You're gonna put your programming, your preferred zone. We'll call it patio. You'll be able to control the volume up and down there on that location 1 or patio, and the source toggle right now says tablet. Any sources you have connected and that you've programmed into the system, you'll just be able to toggle on that button and go to the source that you choose, and it'll play in that zone. You could have 4 different sources playing simultaneously on the system. When you go to Pandora, you can actually play 2 separate Pandora streams simultaneously through your handheld device through the Mini 4. You can only do 1 tune-in at a time from one phone, but from one phone you can do 2 Pandoras. Again, 4 separate sources simultaneously. Next slide. This is a little topography of a typical system. You can see here that the speakers will connect at the bottom. Let's start at the top. We'll go clockwise around. So the top left there is the video Balun connected via Cat5. In this application, we're showing a CD changer being connected to that. You might think of something more creative like an Apple TV, cable box, NAS drive, MP3 player, CD, whatever you may choose. The second source there is just a simple CD player. The next 2 RJ45 inputs are for keypads. I'm showing 2 separate keypad styles there. There's 3 keypads that are available for the system, 2 that are shipping now. One is just a LCD screen with hard button control. That is called the KPD. It is $147 dealer cost. The touchscreen keypad, which is the KPC, is $249 dealer cost. Gives you metadata feedback on the keypad. And we have a new keypad that will be shipping in January that is Decora style. It's a simple keypad for $77, offers power on, off, volume up, down, and source change selection. From the first 2 keypads, you are able to loop from one keypad to the next. From the cost-effective keypad, you cannot do that. I do recommend that you put in a good network. Don't rely on what the customer has in their home and count it as good. If you're going to have a weak link in this system, it is going to be within the network. I highly recommend that you utilize a router and wireless device for the system that is going to be capable of reaching throughout the user area of the home. If they have an acre of property and they expect to stand in the back corner of the property and be able to stream music from Pandora on their phone through the system and have it work in the house, they're going to need to have a network that supports that. The system isn't a network itself, it simply resides on the network. So where the network works in the house, your phone should be able, your handheld device should be able to connect to the network, and you should have a completely functional system. If the network's weak, the system will perform weak, and there could be potentially a dissatisfied customer. So I just recommend partnering with good network providers. I highly recommend that Inviquity network devices. It's a great product. Next slide, please. So what's included? As I mentioned earlier, there are 2 packages that you can purchase the Mini for. And the first package we'll call Package A is simply a Mini 4 controller amplifier, 1 audio Balun with IR control, 2 IR emitters, and a power supply. Dealer cost on this is $754 with an MSRP of $14.99, margin of 50 points. As I mentioned earlier, I've talked to several dealers who are selling this product, that package, for $2,000, and then the builder is marking it up with anywhere between 15 to 40%, and that is selling at no problem. But we do have that MSRP of $14.99. Package B, it's the same as Package A, simply adding 4 pair of BCS65, which are our Contractor Series 6.5-inch in-ceiling speaker. Great speaker. I think you'll be very pleased with it. This adds $100 to the cost of the system. Coincidentally, we sell those speakers for $47 a pair, so that would normally be a $192 ad. So you're saving $92 by packaging the 2 pieces together. You would have a total cost of $854, MSRP of $16.99, and again, talking to dealers, they're selling this for upwards of $2,500, and at $16.99, you're at 50 points. Next slide. So to join the Current Audio team and to be able to purchase the Mini 4 is pretty darn easy. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You can sign up quite easily just by visiting our home page at www.currentaudio.com. You'll see there a dealer sign up tab. Jump on there, fill that out. It's about 10 or 15 simple questions. You'll be contacted within 24 hours, normally within just a couple, from an inside sales rep that manages the AIN group, which is Kelly Williams, and she'll get you all the necessary paperwork and move you along in the process to get you signed up. You can also call or email Kelly directly. There's her contact information. Or you can call or email me directly. And if you are already a dealer, you're certainly welcome to call or email me for any questions or ideas on how to use the system or market it to your builders or customers. I'd be more than excited for the opportunity to share any experiences that I've had. I also want to let you know, for those of you who aren't familiar with Current Audio, that we're a full-line speaker manufacturer. That's actually the meat and potatoes of our offering is architectural audio products. We do sell amplification and control. This is one of the control products that we sell. I'm excited to share it with you today because it's our newest product, and I think that given the opportunity, you'll find great success with it out on your jobs. One critical thing I did forget to mention is this is designed to mount inside of a structured wiring can. Although at my own home I have it mounted on the back of a pull-out rack in my family room, and that is very easy to do. It is designed to sit comfortably in a structured wiring can. This is something that is permanently installed in a home, therefore can be considered as something that would be financed into the loan. That's kind of it. If there's any questions that I could answer for you today, I'd be excited for that opportunity. And I do apologize again for these technical difficulties we had with my presentation. Leave it up to Sean, and we will have a technical difficulty. Any questions?
Thank you, Sean. If anyone has any questions, you can raise your hand, and I will unmute your phone, and you can ask Sean the question directly.
Either I gave a really good presentation or they all hung up on me.
Renee? Renee, this is Rod. I just unmuted here to ask Sean a question. Sean, Rod White here. How you doing?
Good, Rod. How are you today?
Great. Thanks for the presentation. Great presentation. You know, we talked the other evening about the viability of this product and how competitive it is, especially in the production home environment, to take that 4-zone system, that solution package that you have at $16.99, but actually you're being sold for more money. I just want to emphasize how much of a value that is. And right at the very beginning of your presentation, you talked about the solution value over Sonos. And when they can order one package, that four-room solution to include the speakers, the value equation just amplifies because of the profitability there. So is there any, and I appreciate solution A and B, do you have any marketing material that could be available for the dealers to look at this when they're going out and making their proposals to their builders?
Yes,
so that may show, you know, without pricing, of course, may show a solution or something that they could use.
We have an end-user marketing piece that is due to arrive in our office any day, and I would be happy to send those out to any dealers that request them. And it'll also be posted on our online portal. If you go to our web page on the right-hand side, there's this flashing box that says a dealer resource center. When you click on that, you can get all of the images and spec sheets for all of our products, our company logos, etc., right there. And this will be available. The new end user handout will be available on there too. So you can either email or call directly and we'll send it, or you can pull it down off of there and print it yourself. Obviously, if we provide it, it's probably going to be a little nicer piece to hand out.
Thanks, Sean.
My pleasure.
We have another question for you, Sean. Todd, go ahead. I've unmuted your phone.
Hello?
Todd, go ahead. Maybe Todd's having technical difficulties now.
I'm glad it's
Todd?
not just me, because I had a serious complex going.
You know, I think I can forward Todd's question offline to you, Sean. So
okay.
I appreciate your time and your presentation. Very much appreciated. Have a good afternoon.
I thank you again very much, and I want to say I did get off to a little rough start there, and I apologize to everybody for kind of bumbling through that. But I got cocked on one foot there to begin with, and I hope I rebounded nicely, and I hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.